Vince Williams is going to go to All-Star Weekend. Now, what a great thing for him.
Kudos to Vince Williams Jr. He was an injury replacement on the Panini Rising Stars. He'll get a chance to be part of the All-Star Weekend showcase.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Ahead of you, catch me as something you'll never do. I turn around and I level you. No motivation is needed. Look, I put myself on the pedestal. This is incredible.
Take your fandom to the next level with the official Grizzlies app. Go all access and behind the scenes.
It's got to be heavy defense. That's where it starts for us.
Personalized to where you are and who you are. Get easy access to ticketing, the game day guide, and your own app customization right at your fingertips. Upgrade your experience and download the Grizzlies app today.
He was just like, get the hell out of practice. I'm like, get out of practice? Man, what? I looked at him, I said, I ain't going nowhere.
You said it at the anchor?
I said, I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, no.
You put me out of practice. And then remember Bo? Remember,
security.
Shout out
Bo
for security. Shout out. Security Bo was like, come on, Ted. You know this is going to get 10 times worse. So that we
The Chris Vernon Show, presented by Caesars Sportsbook. Live weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
It's more fun to be there live to see the Memphis Grizzlies hit the court all season long. From the electricity in FedEx Forum to the highlight reel plays, there's nothing quite like Grizzlies basketball. As the official marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies, Ticketmaster gets you in with a huge selection of seats. So get off the couch and into the stands while you still can. Score tickets today at Ticketmaster.com. That's Ticketmaster.com.
Live from the Built Ford Tough studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you weren't expecting the Grizz to upset the Kings in Sacramento last night, because that didn't happen. Went to OT, fell in OT. Our dream of finishing 500 on the road, it's in real danger, Bennett.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in real jeopardy. We'll talk through it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. The next segment, about 20 minutes or so, Chris Vernon going to join me. He, of course, is the host of the Chris Vernon Show weekdays, noon, Grind City Media. Vernon going to be here in about 20 minutes. I'll talk NBA Grizzlies with him. When I finish talking to Vernon, take a break, come back. 5 more things you need to know, at which point we'll discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, Memphis Athletic Director Laird Veatch met at length with Penny Hardaway yesterday. I'll tell you what he said about it in about 40 minutes. 2024 NCAA Tournament technically starts tonight, Bennett. First Four in Dayton. Wagner, Howard, Colorado State, Virginia. Get you ready for that doubleheader a little later on in the show. I know you're ready, Bennett. Rest in peace. Oh, no. Rest in peace, Shigechi Nagishi. Rest in peace, Shigechi Nagishi. The Japanese legend, dead at 100.
Okay.
You don't even know the impact he made on this world.
I don't.
He made an incredible impact on this world.
Well, I look forward to learning about it.
This man has played a role in your life. You don't even know it.
Okay.
Now he's dead at 100. It's a Japanese legend. I'll tell you all about him, or as much as I know, in the third segment. Blake Snell's a San Francisco Giant. As predicted, short-term deal, big money. Give the details in just a bit. And a 27-year-old woman. She set out to conquer her fear of flying. She had a fear of flying.
Yeah.
She didn't like to fly. She was scared of it.
A lot of people have that.
And you know what people said to her? They said, you shouldn't have a fear of flying. That's crazy.
No, people do it every day.
You're being cuckoo. They said, you should try to fly. So she said, okay, fine. I'm going to try to conquer my fear of flying. So she decided to fly.
Yeah.
You ain't going to believe what happened.
Oh, I bet I can guess.
I mean, you talk about the worst luck.
Fear becomes reality.
I mean, you talk about the worst luck. Can you imagine? It'd be like if you had a fear of shaving. That's why you never shave.
Yep.
And I was like, why don't you ever shave? And you were like, I have a fear of shaving. I said,
Right.
that's crazy, Bennett. I shave every day. You should shave. And then you shaved and you died. Would that be crazy?
Damn.
That's what happened? This is a hell of a deal. I feel sick. I'll tell you more about it during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carry out and call today. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to. But I did want to start with the Memphis Grizzlies because game 69 of a scheduled 82 was played last night inside the Golden One Center, Sacramento, California.
Yep, light the beam.
Light the beam.
That's what they say there.
I heard him.
Yeah.
Grizz had a shot to win it at the buzzer in regulation. That didn't go well.
No.
Air ball, GG. So the game goes into overtime. Going to play an extra 5 minutes. And then the Grizzlies lost it in overtime. Final score, Kings 121, Grizz 111. Grizz plus 11.5 was somehow in jeopardy in overtime.
I thought I was like, okay, whatever. We got this in the bag. We're fine.
Plus 11.5 ain't ever supposed to be in jeopardy in overtime.
Damn.
All right? You should never be sweating out plus 11.5 in overtime.
Malik Monk happened.
But that's what Malik Monk happened.
Yep.
All's well that ends well, at least from a gambling perspective, though. Did the Grizzlies get the win? No, of course not.
No.
But Big Bet Bennett got the win. And I saw you tweeting late last night.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I am too. I flew home from New York last night, or at least I rode on a plane that was flying home. I didn't actually fly. I didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't it be neat, though, if I could?
Yeah.
But I didn't fly. I just sat. All I did, really, is I just sat in a chair.
Well, I'm glad you made it. Unlike that lady.
Unlike that lady. I had better luck than her.
Yeah.
Every day you start thinking, man, I sure could use a break in life. Just remember, you didn't have a fear of flying and then get talked into flying and then immediately die.
All right.
So you're doing better than her.
That's right.
I'm doing better than
Damn
her.
right I am.
I didn't actually fly home myself. I just sat in a chair and then somebody else flew me home. But I got home in time for the second half.
Mm-hmm.
Settled into my office. And I'm watching the game, just like you're watching the game. And then I see a tweet from Big Bet Bennett, and it says, irrationally invested in the Grizz Kings right now.
Yep.
Bennett, why were you so fired up on a what was yesterday, Monday? Why were you so fired up on a Monday night?
Because we haven't gotten a ton of these recently where – well, first off, Desmond Bane's back.
Desmond Bane is back.
And you're excited to see Desmond Bane back again, and you've got a real, starting lineup of NBA players out there. And they had something to play for. And so it's kind of when the Grizzlies are fully at strength, I think that you think that if you're not the peers with Sacramento, you're better than Sacramento. And so when you get in that situation where it's tight in the second half like that, I don't know, man. Something happened in me, and I was standing up off the couch.
You were up.
I think
you were on your feet.
I think a lot of
nobody has to say get on your feet. You were already on your feet.
I was already on my feet, and I think a lot of Grizzlies fans that were watching actually felt the same way because it had been a minute since. I know the Oklahoma City game was competitive, but they had a 10-point lead most of the game. It was they were gonna win that game. That one last night just felt super competitive. It was really physical. It felt like the Grizzlies really wanted to win that game. So I was in too. I was like, hey, if they want this one, I want this one. Let's go.
I do think there is something to that because I noticed that as well. Like when you look out there and clearly like what's happening on the court matters to Desmond Bane.
Yes.
And it matters to Jaren Jackson. And you see Ja fired up in street clothes. And you see Marcus Smart arguing with the officials, like getting heated with officials in the fourth quarter. Like when you see, like often you watch the NBA games, this stuff goes viral all the time.
Right.
It's like a bad team, down 22, and oh, look, Jordan Poole's telling jokes on the bench, laughing it up. He doesn't even care.
Right.
You see that stuff all the time. And to see the core of this team, both the guys who are healthy enough to play and the ones who aren't, all seemingly emotionally invested in the outcome of this game. It makes it easier for you and me and anybody else watching at home or getting ready to go inside FedEx Forum. It makes it easier for us to care because you're watching it, and it's very clear. I'm not going to say it's going to be true 82 out of 82 in a season going nowhere. I ain't promising you what tomorrow is going to look like. But if you watched that game last night, it seemed undeniably clear that they cared about what was happening, and that makes it easier to care about what's happening when you're watching.
Yeah, and I think part of it, too, the added to it was they got a bad whistle last night. I mean, Pete and Brevin were talking about it. Marcus Smart gets ejected for yelling at the official. He's not even in the game. He's so pissed off. He gets thrown out. I think Sabonis –
and probably should have been thrown out quicker than he was.
That's right. You know, it was, like I said, it was a really physical game, especially in the paint, and I think Sabonis had like 2 fouls the whole game. And I mean, there was the play towards the end when he waxed LaRavia in the face, and they said it was on LaRavia. I mean,
well, there's a long list of people who've been wanting to whack LaRavia in the face over the years.
Hey. Give Jake
credit.
Give Jake credit.
Go ahead, Bennett.
He's been playing good, y'all.
Know.
Yeah, ever since the Slaw meme came out, he's been making y'all be quiet. Jake's been playing good.
Okay, Bennett, slow down. This is exactly how we got in that Zaire Williams commercial.
I'm just saying.
This is exactly how we got in that Zaire commercial, if you'd remember.
He was playing good before he got hurt.
I just remember, Bennett. This is exactly how that Zaire commercial happened.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying.
Flip it.
You're getting caught up in the moment. This is exactly.
Put it on Bally's. I don't care.
This is how we ended up on Bally's talking about Zaire Williams for 3 months straight. This is how we ended up on Bally's for 3 months
do it
straight.
Again. I don't give a damn.
Okay, Bennett. I'd say
let Jake bake.
I'd say slow down a little bit. But whatever, man.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be gone again tomorrow. Do your thing. I'll be gone again tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. You do your thing. I ain't really gonna be back here settled in for a few weeks. So do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Don't matter to me. Bennett, I got bad news.
What's up?
The Grizzlies are now 15-19 on the road. We've made it a personal goal of ours, even though we have no impact on the outcome. We've made it something we're striving for.
Yeah.
To finish at least 500 on the road this season. Grizzlies are now 15-19.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you know, because you're so good at math,
right?
82 games in the regular season, 41 on the road, 41 at home. So you can't finish 500.
No.
It's an odd number. You know how odd numbers work, don't you?
That's right.
So you can't finish 500 on the road. So you got to finish above 500 on the road to meet our criteria. And do you realize now, Bennett, got to go 6-1 in the final 7 to finish at least 500 on the road. 6-1 in the final 7.
I think, yeah. Oh, okay. I see what the schedule is.
I ain't feeling so great.
Hit me with it.
Well, tomorrow, it's those pesky Golden State Warriors.
Okay.
In San Francisco. I ain't scared of them.
I'm really not that scared of them.
I'm not scared of them.
Yeah.
Friday at San Antonio, Wemby.
We can get that one. We can get that one.
I can't wait to talk to Vernon a little bit because, he's living and dying with the NBA every day.
Yes.
And I'd be lying if I told you I weren't a little distracted by the NCAA tournament.
I figured you might
All right? But, every time I look at a headline, it's like Wembanyama continues to do the something that's never been done before. And Wemby, is he the greatest rookie of all time? They're calling him the greatest rookie of all time.
Yeah.
Any sport. In the history of nobody's ever been a better rookie.
I think he might be.
Nobody's ever been a better rookie basketball player, better rookie baseball player, better rookie football player, better rookie cop. Nothing.
I think he might be. I think
maybe Wemby is a great. So that's on Friday. They stink, but he's amazing.
Right.
On Monday at Denver. That doesn't sound fun.
I don't feel good about that one. If I'm picking the one loss we can afford, that might be the one.
Oh, buddy, but we got some more probably coming.
Okay.
At Orlando on March 30th.
They're better than you think.
Better than you think.
Better than you think.
They're better than you think.
Yep.
At Detroit.
Win.
They're not better than you think.
They don't want to win that game. They'll give you that one. Yeah.
They stink. April 3rd at Milwaukee.
Playing better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, starting to figure some stuff out.
Yep.
April 10th at Cleveland.
No, they're good.
Bennett, we ain't even going to sniff this.
I don't think we're going to get there.
We're not going to get there.
No.
Oh, man, we tried, though, didn't we?
Yeah, I thought it was achievable. That's why I was so into it last night, man. Yeah. That would have helped. That would have gone a long way.
Oh, man, we'd be talking differently today, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would have been talking
Man, if only the Tigers could beat Rice and the Grizz could close out the Kings in the Golden One Center.
Mm-hmm.
Man. What a different world.
Oh, we should have got that
What a different world this could be.
Yeah.
Now 23-46 on the season. Still 13th in the West. Still 6th worst record in the NBA. Only 13 games left. That's the good news. 7 on the road, 6 at home. Next road game, like I said, tomorrow night at Golden State. Next home game, not till next Wednesday, and that's when our king and savior, LeBron James, will be visiting.
We will be seated.
FedEx Forum.
We will be seated.
Right now, the Grizz have a 9% chance, if you care about stuff like this, to get the number 1 pick in the 2024 NBA Draft. 9.2% chance to get the second pick. 9.4% chance to get the third pick. 9.6% chance to get the fourth pick. So a 37.2% chance to get a top 4 pick, or a 96.1% chance to get a top 8 pick in the NBA Draft. Will they use it or move it to get a vet? I don't know. I don't know. I can't speak to that right now, Bennett. But for what it's worth, Sam Vecini, my friend, former colleague, he now works at The Athletic, he put a new mock draft up this morning at The Athletic. Have you seen it yet?
No.
He's got the Grizzlies. You know, he ran his own lottery odds, and it came out the way it came out. It had the Grizzlies picking fourth. Had the Grizzlies picking fourth in the 2024 NBA Draft. And with the fourth pick in the 2024 NBA Draft, Sam Vecini from The Athletic, he had your Memphis Grizzlies selecting Reed Sheppard, guard, University of Kentucky. Can I interest you in a Reed Sheppard?
I don't know. You tell me.
I could be interested in a Reed Sheppard.
Really? We don't need guards.
You know what you need?
What?
You know what you need?
What do we need?
And I understand what you're saying, because this is what people say all the time when it comes to the NBA Draft. You start looking at your roster and you start talking about what you need and what you don't need. And you know what every roster needs?
The best player.
Awesome players.
Yeah, the best player in the draft.
Awesome players.
Yep.
You need awesome players.
Yep.
You will never, ever, ever regret drafting somebody who is awesome, regardless of what position they play.
Right.
Regardless of who else you have at that position. I don't think the Grizzlies would prioritize a point guard in the draft with a top 10 pick, given the presence of Ja Morant. But if they did, for whatever reason, evaluate to the point where they concluded the best prospect available to us is a point guard, if they took him and he turned out to be awesome, you would never regret it. You know what you would regret? Saying things like, well, we have to take a center because that's what we need. So I guess we'll take Donovan Clingan with the fourth pick in the draft.
Point.
And you go, is he really the fourth best prospect available in this draft? Well, I don't think so, but that's what we need. You miss on that, you'll regret that.
Yep.
But if you miss on just, if you miss, you'll regret it no matter what, right? But the logic behind the miss, I think, gets complicated.
Yep.
In the sense that if you go, okay, let's just say for the sake of this conversation, the Grizzlies are picking fourth in the draft. And it becomes clear, and I don't think this will be the case, but just play along. It becomes clear to them that a point guard is the best prospect available to them. And the best center prospect on their board is actually 8 spots lower. If they were to take a center with that pick instead of taking the point guard, that would be a mistake. You don't get locked into trying to fit a need in the top 5 or 10 of a draft, I don't think. Certainly not usually. I understand there are circumstances where you might lean one way or another as it pertains to position based on your roster makeup. I'm not speaking in absolutes here, but I think broadly speaking, if you reach a conclusion and an evaluation that Reed Sheppard is the best prospect in this draft, or the second best, or the best on the board when you're picking, I don't care what you think you need, what you don't need. If you believe it's that guy, I would take him. And I'm not unconvinced that he won't be the best player from this draft. I don't know that he will be. It's a draft. Who knows? But, buddy, there is a lot of statistical stuff there and a lot of other stuff there that will make this, if you pass on it and miss on it, it'll make you go, dude, what were you looking at? A little bit like Steph Curry. I'm not comparing him to Steph Curry, but I will say in this regard, it's a little similar. It's all there. You can see it. He's not big, but he is as big as Steph Curry. All right? Doesn't have those handles. But keep in mind, when Steph Curry was coming out of college, people weren't sure if he was a point guard.
That's right.
He didn't play point guard his freshman, sophomore year at Davidson.
Yep. If he was a point guard, he would have been drafted earlier. If people thought that, if they were sure about that.
People thought he was physically weak
Right.
and a little shooter.
Yep.
They questioned his athleticism, questioned his physicality, and questioned whether he would ever be able to play on the ball consistently. That's how he slips in the draft.
Yes.
But then you see it, and you go back and watch the stuff at Davidson. Go back and watch his NCAA tournament run. Then go watch his Golden State Warriors highlights. It's the same stuff. But in the evaluation process, people got so caught up on what they thought he couldn't do as opposed to just looking at what's right in front of you, which is elite, generational shot-making ability and shot-creating ability. It's all there. You just have to see it and not get caught up on the other stuff. You know another example of this? Luka Doncic.
Yep.
Everything he's done in the
slow.
NBA was on tape. All of it. He did it.
Yep.
People just looked at it and said,
No, he's going to be too slow.
Not athletic enough. Yep. Does he go this way and this way well enough? Hey, what are you focused on? Are you focused on what you think he can't do? Or are you just looking at the stuff that's so obviously elite? The misses sometimes in draft evaluations, prospect evaluations, it comes down to, did you get too focused on stuff that shouldn't have mattered? Like, imagine if you were evaluating John Morant coming out of Murray State and you got really caught up on his body or his lack of focus and attention to detail on defense.
Yep.
Like, imagine if you got caught up on that stuff. You'd miss all the other stuff that's right in front of you.
Yep.
It's the classic
Or
can't see the forest for the trees stuff.
Yep.
Chet Holmgren. Imagine if you got caught up on, he just very skinny. What did I tell you even before that draft? I'm wrong about these guys just like everybody else is sometimes. But with Chet Holmgren, what did I say? And I want to be clear, this wasn't my idea. This is something I heard somebody else say, and it just stuck with me. Like, every once in a while you'll hear something and you go, that makes sense to me. Heading into that draft, everybody was like, Chet Holmgren, man, he's just so skinny. Just so skinny. I had a draft evaluator say to me, GP, when's the last time you can remember a basketball player not reaching his potential, not being great? And the reason was he's just too skinny. Man, if he wasn't so skinny, he'd be great. Skinny people sometimes don't make it in the NBA, but it's never because they're too skinny. It's because they're just not good enough or they couldn't make shots or whatever. But it's rarely too skinny is the reason this person didn't make it. So why are people convinced Chet Holmgren won't make it because he's too skinny? Why are you focused on that, which isn't even a real thing in basketball, and not focused on all the other stuff that is so easy to see? Well, now here we are. He looks terrific, right? Focus on the stuff that's undeniable. Don't disregard the other stuff, but certainly don't let it overwhelm the stuff that's right in front of you. And with Reed Sheppard, I mean, I think he's actually hurt a little bit by the stereotypes that go along with being let's just say it, a basketball player who looks like you. He's a better athlete than you think. He can jump. He can guard his position. Yeah, I wish he's 6'5" instead of 6'3", and there's some questions about whether he's even 6'3", all right? But you're talking about a guy who's shooting 54% from the field, 53% from three, 83% from the free throw line. He's one of the best and most efficient players in the country. He just is only playing 29 minutes a game and coming off the bench for Kentucky because, I don't know. You'd have to ask John Calipari. I can't make sense of it. Most coaches I know start their best players. For some reason, John's got a guy who could maybe be the number one pick in the draft coming off his bench. You'd have to ask him. I can't explain it. But if the Grizzlies ended up with Reed Sheppard, like, I'm a believer in that guy. I'm a believer that he's going to work in the NBA. And if he doesn't, it'll just be because sometimes things don't work in the NBA. But if you're skeptical of him and he does pop, and you watch him in the NBA and he's just coming off of a ball screen pulling. He's in transition, pulling 6 feet before the three-point line. He's making a pass other people can't see. He's getting a steal other people can't get. If he gets in the NBA and he pops, he's doing all these things, It's all going to be stuff that was so clearly on film at Kentucky. He's doing all these things right now. He is awesome, awesome, awesome. He can take over a game, hit big shots. He can dribble, pass, and shoot. And in a draft where there isn't a Victor Wembanyama available, there isn't a Zion Williamson available, there probably isn't even a Ja Morant available, I'd be real interested. I'd at least consider, even at the tip-top of the draft, looking at a guy who comes from, basketball player family heritage, mom and dad, both players. That's something that matters to front offices now. Steph Curry, Jaren Jackson, Klay Thompson, the whole were your parents professional athletes. That's another thing that it shows matters in the developmental process and it is something that front offices value. He checks that box as well. I like him. I don't know if the Grizzlies will end up with him. I don't know if he'll be available when the Grizzlies are picking. But if they did end up with him, I'm a believer in him. I don't think we'll look up and go, Reed Sheppard underperformed his draft slot. I think if you take that guy in this draft, assuming he's in the draft, you'll be happy you did. I'll see what Vernon thinks next.
Justin Timberlake. I'm bringing sexy back. The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets this Thursday at 10 a.m. at livenation.com. The brand new single, Selfish, is available to stream and download now. For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
We're going dancing. Welcome to Fandom 101. We need you going crazy in the stands. Your path to fan mastery begins here. It's all part of the curriculum. The NCAA Division I men's basketball first and second rounds this March in Memphis, Tennessee. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
Don't Worry, Be Fluffy World Tour.
The minute you get into a brand new relationship, like magic, you know who really notices just how happy you are, guys? Other women, not your woman. Look how happy he is. I bet I can change that.
Friday, May 10th, FedEx Forum. Get your tickets now at fluffyguy.com. Don't miss a Memphis Don't Worry, Be Fluffy World Tour.
We know there's only one team you want to watch, and Bally Sports is the place to get your Grizzlies. Experience the comebacks, the buzzer beaters, the can't-miss Memphis-made moments live. Bally Sports keeps the grind going before and after the game, too, with Pete, Brevin, Fish, and Chris on Grizzlies Live. Watch Grizzlies basketball all season long with Bally Sports and streaming on the Bally Sports app. Bally Sports, home of the only team you want to watch.
Real country music with Cody Johnson live Saturday, April 13th at FedEx Forum. Country's best. The Leather Tour with Cody Johnson. With special guest Justin Moore. Also featuring Drake Milligan. VIP and reserve seats on sale at Ticketmaster.com in the FedEx Forum box office. Cody Johnson.
He's looking for the hot hand. Jaren got the step, got the flush. There's no layups on that one.
Electric, rowdy, intense. They bring the same mentality that they bring anywhere into the building. If they were mad about something, they're bringing it in. If they were happy about something, they're bringing it in. So we need all that energy times 1,000.
Welcome back. Parrish Show. We're presented by Ortho South in the Built Ford Tough studio. On Tuesdays in the second segment, I'm joined by Chris Vernon. It's the host of the Chris Vernon Show. Weekdays noon, Grind City Media. Look at him. He's an Oklahoma State Cowboy. You want to coach Oklahoma State? They need a coach. Would you like to coach? Would you be interested?
They fired their coach?
Yeah, they had to. He just wasn't winning enough.
Dang, dog.
You'll never believe who's trying to get the job again. Doug Gottlieb.
No.
He's always trying to get the Oklahoma State job.
Right.
Imagine if every time the Memphis job opened, I tried to get it.
Well, you didn't play it, Memphis. I mean, at least Doug played it at Oklahoma State.
He did.
Yeah, this is my Tony Allen Oklahoma State jersey, of which I've had two. The first one, this bozo. Back in the day, I found one on eBay, and I was like, oh, I got to get that. And so he used to come in all the time, and I'm like, I got to get him to sign this. I'm going to, I'll get one of these little frames and we'll put it up in the game room or whatever, right? It's like, that'll be awesome. This dude, I said, Tony, you got to sign this jersey. He's like, all right, straight. So he lays it out. The idiot signed it, Tony Allen, number 9, on a 24 jersey.
Well, old habits die hard.
I'm like, I can't even hang that. It is ridiculous. It says Tony Allen number 9
well, it's a little bit,
on the 24.
Well, remember when we used to write checks and, the calendar would flip to 2024 and then you'd write a check to like a MLG and W and you'd be like, January 13th. 2023, and you'd go, I forgot, it's 2024. I figure it's the same thing,
You
right?
can't redo it, though.
It's tough. You can't just tear up the jersey. You can just tear your check up.
Jersey.
Yeah, can't tear you.
So I promise you, I have the only Tony Allen
number 9
signed on a 24.
He was awesome at Oklahoma State. It's funny.
Yes.
It's funny because people, it became a joke. He can't bounce it or finish at the rim and all these things.
Yeah. Big 12 Player of the Year.
He's the Big 12 Player of the Year. He was awesome. And that shows you the level of skill in the NBA. Like, Tony Allen was the Big 12 Player of the Year, one of the best college basketball players in the sport. And when he got to the NBA, he just kind of had to be a role player.
I mean, look, we talk about this all the time. Some of the different stories of guys, one of which is, you see a lot of these guys that are long career guys, grinder guys, that will always talk to kids, and they will say, like, there's that famous clip that went around, I think it was last summer, and Draymond Green was talking to a group of kids, and he was saying, there are 2 guys on the team, at most, that can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
The rest of y'all better figure out how to be a basketball player and play a role, right? And you always see these guys implement the same thing. And I saw one, it was not that long ago, and it wasn't Draymond, but it was somebody like that, that was talking to a group of kids, and they were saying you know who Patrick Beverly is, and not like a bunch of kids love Patrick Beverly, but he was saying, you know who Patrick Beverly is, and they were like, how many points do you think he scored in high school? How many things you average in high school? And, one kid's like 8, other kid's like 12, other kid's like, 6, whatever. He's like, 36.
Of course, that's right.
Patrick Beverly averaged 36 points a game in Chicago.
And now you think
the highest
and now you
level.
think he can't play.
No, and kids are like,
can't play.
I mean, and he's like, so
that's how awesome.
You're never going to be better than Patrick Beverly.
That's right.
Was in high school, but he had to figure out, how do I make a career for myself in the NBA? And so no matter how good you think you are at offense, you got to be able to do everything else.
That's right. This story won't hold up because it didn't work out, but you'll get the point. I was talking to Billy Donovan one time. This is back when he was still at Florida, and it was a USA basketball thing, and he was working out Jarnell Stokes. So that's how we ended up in this conversation, because Jarnell was from Memphis. And this was before the game had changed so dramatically, where bigs really do need to shoot threes. But he said he saw Jarnell, and he said he comes in the gym every day and he works. Like, he really works, but he's just constantly sitting at the three-point line. And he said at some point I brought him over and I said, hey, listen, I think you can make this shot. You're getting better at it, but you are never going to be able to make this shot well enough to where it matters in the NBA.
Right.
This is all wasted time for you. You need to figure out how to do one thing really well if you're going to play in the NBA. Because he's like, I'm just being honest, you can't do all these things really well. 99.9% of NBA players can't. If you could do all these things well, you're LeBron James.
Right.
You're Kevin Durant, you're Giannis, whatever. You're not that. Find one thing that people value and and become excellent at that, and that's how you have a career. And that's Tony Allen's story.
Sure.
And that is the smartest advice anybody could give the overwhelming majority of NBA prospects. You're not going to be Kobe Bryant.
That's right.
So figure out how to be excellent at one thing where you can have people will pay you to do it for a long time.
And fit in.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
Sam Vecini at The Athletic updated his mock draft this morning. It's all what it is. It's like run the thing. Oh, the Grizzlies are picking fourth. Who should they take? Reed Sheppard. Do you believe in Reed Sheppard?
I am in love.
I'm in love with him, too.
I'm in love with Reed Sheppard.
He's going to be good.
So I saw Reed Sheppard for the first time about a year ago, something like that. Maybe it was during the summer. It's one of those nights where there was one of those high school games that was on ESPN. And so Bronny James' team was going to be playing in it. And this became a big joke amongst us because in our group text, they literally rolled out like a bunch of white guys.
Oh, yeah.
And it was Bronny James and like the 5 best guys in the country. They were just accumulating guys for this AAU team.
Oh, sure.
And obviously accumulating them so that if the game was on ESPN, they could say 5 of the top 20 players in the country are playing whatever. And they happened to play Reed Sheppard's team, who had been together for like 4 years and had played all these tournaments together. And Reed Sheppard's team demolished them on ESPN. I mean, just killed them. And of course, me and Rose are like, for the culture, we come in, all this stuff. But it was this Reed Sheppard guy. So that's the first time I'm like, that's Jeff Sheppard's kid?
Yeah.
Because obviously I remember Jeff Sheppard from being the most outstanding player in the tournament many years ago. And anyways, now I've watched all of these. I saw your co-host did this really good. There was like a video vignette about him and the mom and how the mom was unbelievable.
Right.
And she was like the dog. She was the defensive terror that like had all these assists, had all these steals, whatever. And that's the thing. The defense, like watching that game 2 weeks ago, the weekend game against Tennessee.
Right.
I mean, I was jumping off my couch. This guy's hitting step backs. He has one pass from the baseline that he throws back out to the three-point line. It was like Nashian.
Right.
And look, I'm just preparing you. He is right up the Grizzlies' alley.
Oh, sure.
If there is one thing that we have found that they all have in common, virtually everybody they pick, you will find an exception here or there. What you're going to find is they have 2 steals and blocks, usually 3 steals and blocks, and then they're shooting 36% or higher from three-point range. Like, these are the analytics that fit the bill. In fact, some Grizzlies fans and bloggers had caught on to that and then predicted who they would end up taking in subsequent NBA drafts. And there's some guys that have not fit, Zaire Williams being one. I don't remember. I think Aldama did actually fit. Vince Williams, though, another example of these guys. Can you hit threes reliably? Do you get steals and blocks? Are you active defensively? And that those are things, and they've done very, very well drafting, obviously, but that those are things that generally translate to the NBA, and especially as role players.
He's 3.2 blocks and steels per game, 53% from 3. I mean, 53%
from 3
is outrageous. On 4.4 attempts.
Especially, there's some guys that can shoot a reasonable rate or even a high rate from 3, and it's because they're the guys that teams want to shoot threes, or it's low volume.
Right.
He is neither of those.
Right.
Everybody wants to stop him from shooting threes, and he's high volume.
Right.
No, he is awesome.
But then he can get if you try to take that away, he'll go by you.
Dude, reach.
He's got a float game. Like he's
the fact
legit.
that he defends and is very good at it.
Yes.
He is a very active and good defender, and that's typically the kind of thing that, if we're just being honest, white guys are usually like, all right, target that guy.
That's right.
Right?
No, he guards
We're
his
going to
position.
throw this guy in every single pick and roll.
Well, how about this?
But this guy holds up. He's more like Heinrich. Right. Who had a great career. Right? I mean, I think he was drafted in the top 10, whatever.
No, but Kirk Heinrich played for USA Basketball.
For sure. And Kirk Heinrich was had a decade-long, made all defense teams, in fact. But this kid, I love him. If the Grizzlies took him, I'd be over the moon.
How about this? CBS Sports Classic down in Atlanta in December, I guess. And it's a doubleheader, so it's UCLA, Ohio State first, then Kentucky, North Carolina. In between games, I bump into Orlando Antigua, who was here at Memphis, is with Cal back at Kentucky now. And we're just talking, catching up. And at some point, I'm like, so when did you know Reed was in? We had that conversation. And I'm like, so what? I'm just picking his brain a little bit for draft stuff. I'm like, so what makes him special? Now, the guy shoots 53% from three.
Yep.
He didn't say shooting.
No.
He said defense.
I'll be honest with you. And look, you know this as well as I do. The results are not there for Kentucky,
right?
But the draft results are, and there's every team you can look at. I'm watching the other night. We're at the Oklahoma City game on Saturday night. I'm like, freaking Cason Wallace is awesome.
Right.
And nobody cared about Cason Wallace.
That's
really,
why I would take Rob Dillingham in the top 5. Rob Dillingham's going to be great. Dude. Rob Dillingham is going to be just like Tyrese Maxey in the sense that he's a better NBA player. Rob Dillingham won't make first team All SEC, but he will make an NBA All-Star game.
I thought about him last night. The floor, honestly, like this is how I kind of feel about him when I watch him. The floor is Monk.
Yeah,
just go
get buckets.
Who is also awesome.
Right.
And is probably going to be sixth man of the year. And had 3 of the craziest dunks ever last night. My God.
He scored all their points in overtime.
That was crazy. The dunks, though, were crazy. The baseline one, he had like 3 hammers. I'm like, God. But, yeah. And you think about that team, right? That was
De'Aaron Fox.
That was Fox. That was the team that got beat here by Luke May. But that's Fox, Monk, Adebayo. I mean, and you can look at around. Like you just saw what Quickly got moved for. You see Maxey. Like Tyler Ulis is like the exception.
Right.
You can just blindly draft Kentucky guards over the course of the past decade. And more often than not, you're going to get somebody awesome.
I think if you draft Kentucky guards who score.
Yeah.
Like Kentucky guards who score. Because Ulis, you could maybe say, not really a scorer.
Ulis and the Harrison twins are really the only exceptions.
Yeah, and
for the most part.
And they were just like Ulis is a little point guard, and the Harrison twins were like neither one of them's really a point guard. They were just, but Kentucky guards who could score, those guys work.
P.S. I'm talking about Cason Wallace.
Shai Gilgeous.
Their starter is Shai.
Yes. Right.
Who I reached out to Kentucky fans before that draft, and they're like, no, Knox is the guy. Because Knox had like 40 in a game against Oklahoma, and like Kentucky fans were just higher on Knox.
Right.
Gilgeous-Alexander really didn't turn up until the SEC tournament that year. But, I mean, this guy's one of the top, 5 to 10 players in the league.
Oh, yeah. And a Skims model.
Yeah, and a Skims model.
And so he's got a lot going on.
Did you see the 6? She announced there's 6 college players.
Yeah, so Hunter Dickinson and Jeremy Roach. I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, there's I was like, oh, that's a cool endorsement.
Like, people are always clowning her. Like, what does she do? She built $1 billion shapewear industry? I mean, what are we talking about?
You got any of it?
No.
I do.
I hear it's nice.
You see this black tee?
Okay. Okay.
No, I do. I do have. I got I ordered obviously my wife some stuff, but then whatever is in the men's thing, it was like black T-shirts and she really just has T-shirts and underwear.
I wouldn't mind looking like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in my underwear.
I want to try to get some free because they got that NBA deal now.
I wouldn't mind looking
Surely
like
they got a bunch of Skims over there.
I wouldn't mind looking like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in my underwear.
I don't look like that.
God.
Yeah, it is kind of false advertising.
Yeah, you think you're gonna look like Shai? Yeah, you should.
I don't look like Nick Bosa.
I thought I was gonna look like Nick Bosa.
Oh man!
Now I just look like me in $80 underwear. I thought I was gonna look like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm still short and fat.
Yeah, this shape. What shape? You put me in the shape of a pear.
Yeah, got me shaped like an egg. I thought you were going to shape me like Shai Gilgeous. I'm still shaped just like me.
Damn, man.
Come on, Kim.
I gotta be lean to look good in this.
Come on, Kim. And get your kids out that fake school. Why is he always talking about his kids are in a fake school?
I don't know.
It's like literally one of the best schools in California.
I know. I'm aware.
I don't know what's going on.
One of them's on tour. Right?
One of them's on tour.
One of them's on tour. I guess that's better with his naked wife, and I guess that's better than being in a fake school.
I don't know, man. I can't speak to it. Chris Vernon will be back in studio at noon.
Oh, right. Let me get one thing.
Okay, one thing.
You said I'm going to talk to Chris Vernon about that.
Yeah, I
did. You forgot to.
Okay, what'd I do?
This whole Wembanyama look.
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Okay, yeah.
best rookie.
that's-
Michael Jordan averaged 28 points a game.
I see people tweeting. People tweet.
Well, you need to unfollow them.
They're
talking wild. I mean, look, you can never do the old guys.
I've reached the point where I have to mute accounts I don't even follow because they show up so
you
much in
can't
my
do
time.
the old guys. You can't do the Oscar Robertson,
No.
Kareem, and all those. But even recent, like Tim Duncan was like amazing. He might not even be the best Spurs rookie ever. I think Tim Duncan averaged like 21 and 12.
Are you telling me I can't trust Twitter?
I mean, look, this guy is generational.
Yeah.
And is better than I think even our highest expectations.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Right.
I think people thought it might take a little while.
It ain't taking
But
my
like you're
time.
seeing by the spring, the guy is like
So
seriously.
when are okay? And I'm gonna get you out of here on this. When are they gonna be good again?
I mean, look, I think it could be as soon as next year.
Right.
Because any great player, you've already seen him, like, this sucks type of stuff,
Right.
right? And I want to win. And it's like, you do have some pieces there. They'll keep Vassell, they'll keep Sohan, they'll keep a couple of these other guys. And then they could probably, they've got a bunch of draft picks, and
Right.
they've got a bunch of stuff they can do. They'll have their own high draft pick. They're going to have Brooklyn's pick, I think. Or
It's the type of thing where you could add 2 players and you're ready to be in the postseason.
There's a lot of people that think they could trade for one of the Atlanta guys, too. Trade could be a possibility because they want those picks back.
Right.
Or what if they got DeJounte? That'd be kind of crazy.
To get him
If
back
they-
there?
Yeah, well, yeah, if they got DeJounte back and they still have those picks that they had gotten. Because Atlanta wants those picks back. Like, hey, give us our picks back. This didn't work. And they're like, all right, give us DeJounte back. We'll give you one of the picks. Right? But, so it could be as soon as next year. He's that good.
Right.
You just need one other awesome guy because they've got the role guys.
Right.
You need one other awesome guy.
That's
You
right.
kind of have the goods to be able to get an awesome guy.
All right. Chris Vernon will be Chris Vernon Show, noon, Grind City Media.
Hey, I'll leave, Bennett. Y'all can get back to glazing Purdue.
I love Purdue.
I know you do.
I look a little bit like a Boilermaker.
That big monster.
Oh, I got my team.
This guy likes watching Purdue play basketball. You don't actually like watching them play. You just like Matt Painter.
I just decided here's what I do.
You're anti everybody stupid. Like, you think everybody that doesn't think Purdue's awesome is stupid.
That's right.
And, yeah, right.
It's just another
So
example of
you
me
need
thinking
them-
people are dumb.
So you need them to win.
Yeah, it's just the latest example of
You
me.
cannot like watching that big idiot just grab the ball, put it in the bag.
I do like it.
No, you
I
don't.
do like
It is. Nobody likes to watch. Nobody likes that.
I
That's
like
fun.
it.
Like Dillingham and Sheppard are like breaking guys off, step backs. This guy's like Frankenstein ass.
I like it.
No, you don't.
That's my guy.
You do not like him.
That's my guy.
I
Zach Edey's my
refuse
guy.
to believe you love watching Zach Edey.
I love
watching. Zach Edey's parents don't love watching Zach Edey.
Dang.
Zach Edey's parents is like he's one-dimensional.
Yeah.
All right, I like Zach Edey.
I know.
All right, I'll see you. I'll see you later. I'll see you later. I'll see him later. Hey, Laird Veatch met with Penny Hardaway yesterday.
Sound the alarm.
Vernon said, "Who cares?" It's a fair point. It's a fair point. Who does care?
I care. I want to know. I need more details to decide if I care or not.
All right, I'll give you all the details. We'll do that next.
LifeCare Ambulance is proud to be an official partner of the Memphis Grizzlies and FedEx Forum. At LifeCare, they wear their hearts with pride. Their passion is their people. They want you to love what you do and where you do it. Their employee-driven culture encourages a healthy work-life balance and supportive work environment. They invest in your success and well-being so that you can provide the best care for the patients that they serve. Join the incredible team of EMTs and paramedics in Memphis, Nashville, and across the nation today. Learn more at lifecareamb.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Now for a limited time, the new $1.99 Crispy Tender Wraps are here at Sonic. Who could deny a crispy chicken tender with bold flavors like hickory barbecue and cheesy Baja? And we can't forget the crisp lettuce and melty cheese to make the perfect bite. Wrap yourself up with some TLC, tender, love, and chicken for only $1.99. Sonic $1.99 crispy tender wraps. Tax not included. Limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Hey Grizzlies fans, after exciting hoops and a lucky night of gaming, where do you rest your head? Look no further than Southland Casino Hotel, proud sponsor of the Memphis Grizzlies. Our high-rise hotel is the epitome of luxury and comfort. Picture this, you've just finished an evening of gaming and dining, so you head on over to one of our 300 rooms to end the night. Choose from standard, suite, and presidential suite, plus we're pet-friendly and offer mobility scooters for rent. It's a seamless experience for everyone. And don't miss the Main Street Exchange, right in the heart of our casino lobby. Whether you're craving a snack or need a souvenir of your stay, we've got you covered. From polo shirts to shot glasses, take a piece of the Southland excitement home with you. So come stay and play at Southland Casino Hotel, where every moment is designed for your enjoyment. Book your hotel stay by calling 833-703-3350 or visit online at southlandcasinohotel.com/hotel.
Guests must be 21 years of age or older to check in at hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. That's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays, in the evenings, and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's orthosouth at orthosouth.org. Now I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Laird Veatch, Memphis Athletic Director, and Penny Hardaway, Memphis men's basketball coach. They had a meeting yesterday.
All right.
Big Bet Bennett. Things were discussed. And do you know what emerged from that meeting?
What's that?
Confidence.
Good.
Laird Veatch has confidence.
Good.
In Penny Hardaway. And he will continue to support his men's basketball coach heading into year 7.
Good, as he should.
As he should, I think.
As he should.
I think that's where we're at on this thing. Says he agrees with Penny's sentiment about skipping the NIT. I know that this was, Bennett, you tell me.
Yes, okay.
Was this controversial?
I'm glad you brought this up.
Was this controversial? Skipping the NIT? Because I saw some fans like, who do we think we are? Skipping the NIT. And I was like, I would skip the NIT too. But I gather, Laird Veatch said he agrees with Penny. Skipping the NIT is the proper course of action here. Was this controversial? Were people actually bothered by Penny saying, I don't want to be in the NIT?
Yes, and I was actually one of those people too. And the reason being is the same sentiments you just put out there. Is my initial thoughts were, who do we think we are? We've never turned down an NIT invitation. We've had parades on Beale Street celebrating NIT championships. Why would we turn down the NIT? And that makes sense on a surface level, but then you have to look at where college basketball is now and how much it's changing, and you can speak to this. They're not bigger programs than Memphis are turning down NIT invitations. Smaller programs than Memphis are turning down NIT invitations, and it's because of the transfer portal, right? Like, it's just college basketball. I think it's a problem for the NIT because all of these guys that maybe aren't going to leave their schools, even if they stay, they still want to get their name out there in the portal, and so it changes everything.
You're exactly right that Memphis had never previously turned down an NIT, but what is also true is Memphis had never previously been asked to participate in an NIT under these circumstances. It's a different deal now. Like, the sport has dramatically changed, and the NIT's death, perhaps, is a byproduct of that. The quote from Laird Veatch is very similar to the quote from Rick Pitino in explaining why St. John's also turned down an NIT opportunity. You know what Rick Pitino said? We feel like it's in our best interest to start focusing on next season. The transfer portal opened yesterday. Memphis already has one player in it, and it's an inconsequential player, but there's nearly, or at this point, perhaps even more than 500 players in the transfer portal already.
Mm-hmm.
Like power conference guys who are accomplished, mid-major guys who you wouldn't know their names, the same way you didn't know Dalton Connect's name this time last year. But it's possible the next Dalton Connect is already in the transfer portal right now. There's certainly somebody in the transfer portal right now from a mid-major with similar numbers to the numbers Dalton Connect accumulated last season before transferring to Tennessee. So when you combine the fact that the transfer portal is open and you need to be re-recruiting your team or figuring out how you're going to replace people you're going to lose, with the fact that, do you realize the NIT semifinals and championship game are no longer in New York City? No longer at Madison Square Garden? That was always one of the...
Is that true?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
They moved it out of there.
Oh.
It's now at Hinkle Fieldhouse, which is kind of cool, but it's not New York City.
Nah, it takes a lot out of it.
One of the things about, like, because the NIT, unless you're a mid-major who didn't really have NCAA tournament aspirations, the NIT is, it's a, hey, you weren't good enough to get where you wanted to go, but we'll let you play in this thing. And nobody wants to be there, but like once you win one game, it's like,
You're
hey,
into it, yeah.
Hey, you know what? Now we win another 2 and we could go to New York City or however it works, right? Play in the Garden. And so there was like, that was at least like something you could theoretically get excited about. Maybe your fans could too. Not what we wanted to do, but wouldn't mind going to New York City.
Right.
Playing in the Garden, that's kind of cool. Well, now you don't even get to go into, you don't go to New York City. You don't go to the Garden. They also changed the selection process. So they have a bigger field to fill out because in years past, if you won your conference regular season title and then didn't win your conference tournament and then didn't get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament, so in other words, you win the Southern Conference regular season title. But then you lose in the Southern Conference tournament semifinal, so you don't get an at-large bid. You automatically got to go to the NIT. They would slot you in. Well, Fox, and this is a little inside baseball stuff, but Fox has an idea of creating a secondary tournament to the NCAA tournament that rivals the NIT. Put the whole thing out in Las Vegas the week of the Final Four. So you have regional finals on Saturday, Sunday. And then as I talked to an executive from Fox Sports, what they told me is you've got people all like just eager to watch any sort of college basketball stuff.
Yeah, they're already out there, right.
And so, but there's nothing there. But what if we did like a 16-team, 4-day tournament? So on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, something like that. It's nothing but power conference teams. We bring you all to Las Vegas. We're going to put it all on national TV, like Fox.
Yep.
And you're staying at a 5-star resort.
Yep.
So Fox launches this idea. Well, the NIT got spooked by that and was like, oh, no, they're going to take our power conference teams. We better kick the little schools out so we can invite more power conference teams. Well, now what they're finding out is the power conference teams don't even want to go to your thing.
Do it.
So now they're having trouble even filling out the bracket. You got some really bad teams in this NIT. So just to circle this back to Memphis, I agree with the sentiment to not play in the NIT. There are only so many hours in the day. And Penny Hardaway's hours right now, they could be spent preparing for a game that your own fans don't want to watch, to win a tournament your own fans don't even care about, or you spend that time on Zooms, phone calls, trying to ensure next season's not like this season.
Yep.
What's a better use of your time? It's not even close.
Right.
It's not even close. And it's a real problem for NCAA tournament coaches as well. And I think they'll change this eventually, hopefully before next year. There are coaches right now who have to make this decision today. Today, you're on a staff at, say, Nebraska. Do we want to – okay, Do I want to watch film to prepare for our NCAA tournament game in Memphis? Or do I want to be in the transfer portal, trying to build a roster for next season? What do you want me to do right now? And there are coaches in America right now whose bosses are telling them, I need you focused on the transfer portal. I don't even need you at practice today. You work all year long to get to the NCAA tournament, and now it's the week of the NCAA tournament, and you're in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even focused on the game. The transfer portal should not be open right now.
Right.
It's a real
That's a good point.
distraction for the sport and the people inside of the sport. They'll change all that, but it is among the reasons why I actually agreed with Penny Hardaway not wanting to play in the NIT. Again, the big headline out of yesterday's meeting with Laird Veatch, going to support him, have confidence in him. I think everybody expects better results. I honestly think this isn't even complicated anymore. It is crystal clear that the results have been subpar. It is crystal clear that this can't go on much longer like this. And if Memphis misses the NCAA tournament next season, I think most people will agree it would be 2 NCAA tournaments in 7 years and only 1 NCAA tournament win in 7 years. It would be time to make a coaching change. I think most people, you tell me, is that where most Memphis fans are?
If
year 7
yeah,
it doesn't have to be the roller coaster that year 6 was. But if year 7 just ends with you lose in your conference tournament and it's very clear to everybody you're not going to the NCAA tournament, I think year 7 should probably be the end.
I think circumstances matter. Like what does, if somebody gets hurt, like that kind of, there's always factors, right?
Of course. Let's say they're ranked 7th in the country on February 15th, and then the top 2 scorers tear their ACLs.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, if he has another awesome team and they just don't have a chance of making the NCAA tournament like it did this year, then yeah, I think it'll clearly be a hot seat. I don't know if he'll get fired. I'm not going to pretend to know that. I don't even know if he should, but I do think he'll be on the hot seat if he has another really good team that just doesn't have a chance at the end of the year to make the NCAA tournament.
Or if he has a really bad team that doesn't have a chance to make the NCAA tournament, I don't care. I think
I got you.
Unless there are circumstances, some of which you've laid out, that make it understandable for next season to be a bad season, I don't think he can survive it.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Pastner,
you're right.
Got pushed out after year 7. And
Penny's different than Josh.
I understand.
Yep.
But at some point, it is a results-oriented business. And, even Georgetown fired eventually Patrick Ewing.
Right.
If Georgetown can fire.
Now, that was horrible. That was like horrendous.
A different level of bad, no question.
Yes.
But my point is, if they can get there,
yep,
you can get there too. Let's just hope we don't have to get there.
Yes.
Let's just hope we don't have to get there.
Number 2.
NCAA tournament actually starts tonight. We got a doubleheader, First Four in Dayton. Wagner, Howard, followed by Colorado State, Virginia. I was thinking about this earlier.
Okay.
The First Four, I don't like it. I don't need it.
I don't like it either.
But it exists, so I'll watch it. At least the second game. The thing that's interesting about the First Four as it pertains to the at-large bids, because the 16 seeds we don't even pay attention to. Nobody cares. And then you look at the at-larges, and it doesn't matter who wins the game. All the focus is on the loser. It won't matter who wins between Virginia and Colorado State in the sense that we won't go, oh, wow, look at them. They look good.
Right.
It'll be just we'll look at the team that loses, and we'll go, see, I told you they stunk. If it's Virginia is 4-5 in its past 9 games. Can't even hit 50 sometimes. If Virginia loses tonight, nobody will say, Colorado State's awesome. See? It'll just be like, I told you Virginia sucked. They didn't even belong in the tournament. No shock that they lost again here in the First Four. And if Virginia beats Colorado State, nobody will say, oh, look, Virginia. Oh, they look tough. It'll say, Colorado State was 4-4 in its 8 games leading into the NCAA tournament in the Mountain West Conference. Like they and then they just lost to a Virginia team that was 4-5 in its previous 9. It's just now if you win your next game, then we start talking about maybe they didn't even belong in the First Four.
Right.
But the result of the First Four is always about the loser, not the winner. So good luck to Virginia and Colorado State tonight. But whoever wins it, we won't be talking about you. We'll only be talking about the team you beat and how they suck.
I have my team.
You got your
I've adopted my NCAA tournament team that I'm riding. Well, I have 2. I have 2 that I've adopted. I have a team that I think can go far and a team that is a sleeper.
What could I hear?
the team to go far, and this isn't that popular, but we talked about St. Mary's. Yeah. And Randy Bennett, the Bennett legacy. We're trying to carry on the Bennett legacy.
Right.
And so I'm behind the Gales as far as a final. I think they've got a chance to make a Final Four.
Okay.
That's my dark horse Final Four. And then I'm riding with the Lobos.
New Mexico Lobos.
I'm riding with the Lobos. I thought I might be on. Remember, I told you yesterday, college basketball is better when New Mexico is in the NCAA tournament. That's what everybody says. That's what everybody said, right?
You want me to get you? That is what everybody says.
That's what everybody says, okay?
That is what everybody says.
And I did a little deep dive.
You did deep dive?
Buddy, first off, competitive conference.
Okay,
They won the conference tournament, right?
Yes.
Yes. So competitive conference, they played competitive basketball all season. Veteran guards, veteran backcourt, 2 seniors.
Yeah.
And let me read the names to you.
Okay.
Jalen House. Does that name sound familiar?
Does that sound familiar?
Huh. Jalen House. I wonder who he's related to. Oh, only the great Eddie House.
Yep.
Oh, who else? Who's his backcourt mate? Jamal Mashburn Jr.
Does that sound familiar?
Does that sound familiar? Jamal Mashburn. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Also, their big man who grabs all the rebounds, his last name's Toppin. Is he a Toppin family member? Is he a Toppin? He's a Toppin. Dude, we got NBA legacy veteran backcourt. This is the sleeper right here.
Okay, man.
I wanted to get that out there before people started jumping on because they're going to be here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go over and watch them. That's
Bennett,
my team. I'm riding with the
Bennett,
Lobos.
if you want me to text Richard Pitino and get you some Lobo gear, I'll do it.
I'm riding with them. Can you give me some Lobo gear?
I probably can get you some Lobo gear.
Is it Lobo or Lobos?
They're the Lobos.
Lobos.
But it's just
Lobos.
like Tiger gear.
Yeah.
Vol gear. Rebel gear. Bulldog gear. Lobo gear.
Dude, I would love some Lobo gear.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
Yeah, man. That's my team. I'm riding with them. Clemson. Are you kidding me? I watch Clemson. I watch Memphis beat Clemson. I ain't scared of Clemson.
Bennett's not scared of Clemson.
No, dude. No. We're riding with New Mexico.
Bennett said ride with New Mexico. He's a Lobo. He's part Lobo now.
Let's go.
He's part Grizzly and part Lobo.
Number 3.
Rest in peace. Shigechi Nagishi.
I'm not familiar with.
Oh, rest in peace. R.I.P. Shigechi Nagishi.
Okay, who should be? Wait. Oh, wow.
Look at him. That's my fella there.
He invented karaoke.
He invented karaoke. You don't even know the impact this man made on your life.
What is that contraption he's got there?
That is the first karaoke machine. It was made in 1967. It's made before you. It's made before me.
How about that?
Shigechi Nagishi was making karaoke machines before you were even a twinkle in your daddy's eye. I don't even know what that means. How you feel
That's what people say.
How you feel about karaoke?
You know, I have done karaoke in my day. I hadn't done karaoke to the level that, like, say, John Roser used to do at the Windjammer, but I've hopped on the mic before. I've hopped on the mic. P&H, rest in peace. Done some P&H karaoke back in the day. So yeah, I've hopped on the mic.
I've hopped on the mic. Everybody's hopped on the mic.
Yeah.
You got a go-to song on karaoke?
Ooh, I want to say that the last one that I ever did was like, Detroit Rock City or something like that.
God.
Yeah. It was something weird
Starting
like
to
that.
make sense?
I do.
That's starting to make sense.
Kiss was a go-to.
Okay,
That's good
starting to make
sing-along
sense.
music. Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
That's good. That's starting to make some
Yeah.
sense.
How about you?
I used to do Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin.
That's a hard karaoke song.
Not for me.
Could you hit those notes?
Yeah, of course.
No, you could not. You can't hit that Robert Plant. You ain't built like that.
Been a long time, been a long time, been a lonely time.
Boo.
Ooh, yeah.
Shigechi would be unimpressed.
Ooh, yeah.
No,
Ooh,
man.
yeah. Shigechi Nagishi did this. This is what he did.
Yeah, yep.
I would never even try to sing rock and roll if it weren't for Shigechi Nagishi.
That's, man, rest in peace, dude. I mean, karaoke.
Rest in power.
Dude, that is literally like bar culture. This man, like, invented bar culture.
Shigechi Nagishi.
Yeah.
I know. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I think did more harm than he did good.
Really?
I don't need karaoke. I don't like it. I ain't for it. I'm against it.
Okay. All right.
Because let me tell you what every
Yep.
karaoke
Hit
bar
me
is.
with it.
Here's every karaoke bar. You ready for this?
Yep.
I don't need it. I mean, I'm glad y'all are having fun, but y'all can just leave me out of it. You know what? How about this? Go have fun. and just meet me back at the house when we're done with it. All right? Here's the deal. Every karaoke bar I've ever been to got two type of people. One is the person who can actually sing.
Mm-hmm.
They've got some like actual talent.
Yeah.
Like you ain't ever gonna see them on The Voice, but like you could maybe imagine them on The Voice. They ain't gonna get there, but you could. Like if somebody said, "Hey, the CW started like an offshoot of The Voice. Could you see this person on it?" And you'd be like, "On the CW version of The Voice?"
Mm.
Yeah, I guess so. Who's the judges? Iggy Azalea?
Yep.
I could see that. That person's in the karaoke bar.
Yep.
And they're up there doing their best Whitney Houston songs,
Mhm.
right? And they're singing it. And they're just a little too impressed with themselves about it. Like, hey, congratulations, you can kind of sing. Congratulations.
Mhm.
I don't see what it's really doing for you in your life. You ain't a singer. You ain't a songwriter. You ain't paying your bills. But congratulations, you can kind of sing a little bit. That's one person in the karaoke bar. And then you know the other person in the karaoke bar? That's the person who can't sing at all. Not a lick.
The drunk person, yeah.
And they want to get up there and try to be funny while rapping Baby's Got Back or whatever.
Yep.
All right? And they ain't never as funny as they think they are. And I just find the whole thing, I could leave it. I respect Shigechi Nagishi. I want that to be clear. I respect this man. I respect the long life he lived. I respect that he invented something. You know,
Mhm.
I didn't invent anything.
Right.
I mean, I think I invented GP's carryout.
Yeah, in the top 25 and one.
I invented that.
Yep.
I invented a daily ranking of 26 basketball teams, and Shigechi Nagishi, he invented karaoke. So advantage Shigechi Nagishi, right?
Mhm.
I ain't sitting here trying to pretend I'm Shigechi Nagishi.
Right.
But my bar experiences, my life, I think it'd be better without him.
So, as you say that, I mean, anytime I've done karaoke, it's never been because I wanted to do karaoke. It's because I was pressured into doing karaoke.
That's the other thing.
So that's
it lends itself to examples of peer pressure.
Right. And if I'm thinking of like the ideal bar, like dive bar, or I think I would prefer a sick jukebox as opposed
Hey, you ready
to
for this?
karaoke.
Okay, what are my options? To hear drunk Gary Parrish sing rock and roll, or to hear sober Robert Plant, presumably, but maybe not, sing rock and roll as he sang it on Led Zeppelin 1, Led Zeppelin 2, Led Zeppelin
4.
3, Led Zeppelin 4,
Yep.
Led Zeppelin 4. What's better? Give me a jukebox and let's just listen to Robert Plant. You don't need me.
Yeah, and the other.
How about we let Robert Plant sing his songs?
Yeah.
And in between songs, I'll tell you a story about something.
I'll
do what I can do, and he does what he can do. And wouldn't that be a better night for everybody?
Yeah, and the other thing too with the jukebox too is you have that nice, like if you're at a table with a bunch of friends and someone's like, "Oh, who played this?" and it was me.
No, it was me.
It was me.
It
I
was
picked
me.
this one.
It was me.
That's nice.
There's one night we was in the bar, jukebox. I played Ebony and Ivory like 40 times in a row. That'll drive the bar crazy real quick. That'll drive the bar crazy real quick. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I just looked around. I wanted to see how long will it take people to notice. I got Ebony and Ivory on a loop. How long will it take folks to notice? It didn't take them long. I'd say by round 3, people picked up on what I was up to.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a nice jukebox than a nice karaoke machine.
I would too.
Either way, rest in peace, Shigechi
Yeah,
Nagishi.
yeah.
He lived a good life. He did good stuff.
Number 4.
Blake Snell's a San Francisco Giant. Your reigning NL Cy Young Award winner has left the Padres. He's now a Giant, so he stays in the NL West. Padres and Giants open the season against each other next week
in Korea, right? No, that was Dodgers Padres.
2 years, $62 million. So just like we had talked about before, short-term deal, but big money. I read folks were hesitant, front offices were hesitant to give him a long-term deal because a lack of consistency. And also, he doesn't throw deep into games. You know, he's basically a 5-inning pitcher.
Yep.
He led Major League Baseball last season in fewest hits allowed per 9 innings, but also led Major League Baseball in walks. That's 2 ends of the extreme.
Right.
I just feel like this is one of those deals where everything's baked into it. Like, okay, he's elite at this, not so great at this. He's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Like, what are we talking about? Okay, he doesn't have the best. He doesn't have the Greg Maddux level control. He's still a 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
Right.
Opt out after year 1. So if he is awesome this year, he can opt out and do a brand new deal. But it's a deal that makes. If the Mets would have signed this deal, I'd have been happy with it. So good for Blake Snell. Good for the Giants. I look forward to watching him pitch out west again.
Number 5.
What a wild deal.
Yeah, I was ready for this story.
Man, what a wild situation this one is. There's a woman named Daniela Barrios.
Okay.
She's 27 years old. Sweet woman. She had a fear of flying. This is well known amongst her peers and her friends and family.
A lot of people have this.
Be like, oh, you know Daniela. Can't get her on a plane.
Right.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should take the kids to Hawaii. Well, you know, I'd love to, but Daniela, she has a fear of flying.
Yeah.
She ain't going to fly. You know, old Daniela, she won't do it. All right? It's becoming a real problem in her life, fear of flying. So just like anybody else in life, she decided, you know what, maybe I should tackle this fear. Maybe I should put this to rest. This irrational fear of flying. So she booked a paragliding session. She's going to go paragliding.
Okay.
She's going to overcome her fear of flying by paragliding.
Okay. All right.
She jumps on Instagram right before she's going to go on this paragliding expedition. And here's her caption. Join me on my crazy things. Let's overcome a fear. It's not actually great sentence structure, but that's beside the point.
Was it translated? It might have been translated.
She's doing the best she can,
Yeah,
Bennett.
yeah, got
Hey,
it.
how this woman captions her social media post is beside the point.
Not for me to judge. Yeah, sure.
At this point, it is the least of her worries.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So this woman decides she's going to tackle her fears.
Yeah.
Conquer her fear of flying. She books a paragliding session. Gets up there with her instructor. She's sitting on the little paragliding seat. Apparently that's what you do. You sit on a little seat when you paraglide. And she slipped off of it and she died.
So I did not know this is where this story was going to go. You know, my first suggestion would have been, and I'm sorry that she died, like that, like rest in peace. That's a horrible story. But wouldn't you, if you had fear of flying, wouldn't you first want to start with like commercial airline?
I'd go like Delta.
I think I'd hit up Delta first.
I mean, first thing I'd do is like a Delta Memphis to Atlanta. That seems like that's going, let's start there.
You do that a lot.
Let's do a little 50-minute Memphis to Atlanta.
Might have a little bump here and there and have a few scares, but I think you're going to get through that.
Yeah.
Paragliding, I've never gone paragliding for God's sakes. Like
You gone parasailing?
No, I've never done any of that.
I've done parasailing.
I mean, listen, I might do it. I might try it. I've done things I haven't, but I would know going into that, this might be a little dangerous. I might be doing something a little risky here.
Except, paragliding's not supposed to be risky. They're doing it right now in Panama City. Right now, somebody's paragliding. Right now, at this moment, somebody's doing what this woman did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have started with commercial airline.
Me too, Bennett.
Yep,
Me too,
I think she made a mistake there. Those usually, what do they say? Like you're, like 90 times more likely to get in a car wreck than to die in a plane crash or something like that.
Way more than that.
It's like 99.999%, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
She made a mistake here, and it cost her.
Oh, buddy, did it ever. Did it ever. Yeah. The world is such a wild place, man. This woman has spent most of her life presumably in fear of flying, and at the age of 27 decides today's the day I'm going to tackle this fear.
Yeah.
And in fact, it was the day she just fell to earth and died.
Dang.
Rest in peace to Shigechi Nagishi.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a lot of death in this 5 More Things.
That guy,
Yeah.
I don't know if I needed the karaoke machine, but he made it.
Hey.
We wouldn't have had it without him.
I hope they're in heaven doing karaoke together right now.
Right.
Yep.
Just
paragliding and doing karaoke at the same time.
Probably like both of them. Like, man, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
How'd we end up here?
Yeah.
Be back with GP's carryout.
Today we have 2 very special guests on our program. Introducing Lem and Lime.
Hello.
For Starry Lemon Lime Soda.
Thanks for having us.
What is Starry Lemon Lime Soda?
It's a crisp, clear burst of lemon lime flavor, and it's caffeine-free.
Between us, one of you must be a little more important to Starry than the other. Who is it?
We're both important.
So it could just as easily be Starry Lime Lemon Soda.
No, that doesn't sound right.
Oh, I like it.
So you saying hip-hop could be hop-hip?
Works for me.
Starry Lemon Lime Soda. Starry hits different.
He's looking for the hot hand. Jaron got the step, got the flush. There's no layups on that one.
Electric, rowdy, intense. They bring the same mentality that they bring anywhere into the building. If they were mad about something, they're bringing it in. If they were happy about something, they're bringing it in. So we need all that energy times 1,000.
Why does nobody want to talk about my new hair?
The amount of times I have trimmed, shaved, lined up, and cut completely off my hair with no fanfare, no reaction. It's hair. Jessica, it's
different.
hair. Who cares?
You don't have any. That doesn't count.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
We know there's only one team you want to watch, and Bally Sports is the place to get your Grizzlies. Experience the comebacks, the buzzer beaters, the can't-miss Memphis-made moments live. Bally Sports keeps the grind going before and after the game, too, with Pete, Brevin, Fish, and Chris on Grizzlies Live. Watch Grizzlies basketball all season long with Bally Sports and streaming on the Bally Sports app. Bally Sports, home of the only team you want to watch.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. We're in the Built Ford Tough studio. If you're watching live, you're not watching live.
That doesn't appear.
And the reason is because the internet is down in the entire building, I'm told.
Yes.
I gather, right? So,
I think it's actually, we might have a downtown issue.
Could that be no internet downtown anywhere?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful to hear. So at some point, you'll be watching. If you're watching this, you are doing it later in the day, and we're just going to continue to do the show as if it's like as if the internet's not down. But the internet is down. So, you know what? Let's just wrap this up with GP's. Let's just get on with it, all right?
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
Whole bunch of stuff, but the most important thing, I think at least, the most important thing is maybe tackling your fears is not the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, take baby steps.
Yeah. Don't go straight from, I'm scared of flying to, I'm going to paraglide.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm scared of flying, I'll buy a ticket on Delta. That seems safe. Maybe I'm scared of flying. What should I do to tackle this fear? Go to Colombia and paraglide.
Right. That's,
She hit the ground.
Damn.
She had a lingerie line. That's what she did for a living. She had a lingerie line.
We'll go out and support her.
Yeah.
You got the link.
Yeah. Like
I'm sure. Got the link to the line.
I'm sure there's a GoFundMe somewhere. She had a 7-year-old son too, Bennett.
So damn.
Maybe,
dude.
Maybe
now
you should
I'm
stop
sad.
laughing.
All right.
Maybe you should stop giggling.
Yeah.
She had a 7-year-old son too.
Thanks.
She had a 7-year-old son too.
Great. Rest in peace. Sorry to the family.
Rest in peace. I'm sorry to everybody.
What's today's biggest game?
NCAA Tournament, 8 o'clock. True TV. Bennett, you ready for True TV? You ready to find True TV tonight?
Yeah, I got the voice-activated remote. I just say it.
Yeah,
I don't even know where it is. I just say, give me True TV.
Give me True TV. People always act like everything's so difficult when it's not.
Get you that voice remote.
Things are actually easier than ever. Except for, like, keeping the internet running.
Right, that's right.
That's tough. But, like, yeah, you could just say, hey, you could literally just say, Alexa, what channel is True TV on DirecTV? And with that, I just set off Alexa in somebody's house. I know I did. Everything's easy. You'll find True TV. Colorado State, Virginia, Bennett.
Is that the big one?
It's the big one. They're both 10 seeds.
What's the other one again?
Wagner Howard.
Is that the second game? Please let it be.
First game.
Oh, of course.
Second game, Colorado State, Virginia. Colorado State -2.5. The total's 121.5. You got you a win last night, Bennett, so you're 98, 103, and 4. Negative 16.3 units. How you going to act tonight?
This one's interesting because Virginia, proud program, national champion, but they haven't been good this year. I mean, shoot, the Tigers beat them earlier this year. So, and again, Colorado State, that plays into my New Mexico, like Mountain West.
If you're going to be with New Mexico, you might as well ride with Colorado State.
Yeah, Mountain West, man. That's a good conference.
That's David Roddy's alma mater.
They're battle-tested. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Bennett said take the Rams. Colorado State tonight in the First Four on True TV. Let's go.
What are we watching on TV?
Can I interest you in the Eye on College Basketball podcast on CBS Sports Network?
Yes.
We did it yesterday, 1 o'clock on CBS Sports Network live. We're going to do it again today, 1 o'clock live. So 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, CBS Sports Network. I'll be dressed similar to this, probably.
What's the best thing we've read?
I told you Sam Facini updated his mock draft at The Athletic. Had the Grizzlies selecting Reed Sheppard at Kentucky. If you haven't read that yet, go find it, theathletic.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Will it be Wednesday? We'll see if your Rams get it done tonight. Grizz Warriors tomorrow night.
I'm nervous about that one.
Mike Wallace.
Yeah, Mike will be here.
Michael,
where are we tomorrow? He'll be live from San Francisco, I believe. Yep.
That's early for him.
Yep.
You might want to double check that, Bennett.
I'll double check. I think it'll be good, though.
That's early for him. Either way, should be a fun show. I'm looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll enjoy mine. We'll meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.